Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this story is unbelievable, and it has everything to do with a Dallas Mavericks professional basketball game where this young lady at the time was 15 and went to a Dallas Mavericks game with her father. This has to deal with untreated mental illness, especially of a young teen and trying to navigate through this crazy world we live in today. This has to do with human trafficking and also sex trafficking, which I was not fully aware that it is such a high propensity of human trafficking taking place. Of course, I'm middle-aged in my mid-50s, and it is completely tough for young people to grow up in this time and age that we live in. And there are so many people that are preying on our young folks that can lead them down a very dark hole. But please listen to this story. This is a true story that took place. This young lady had all intentions to go to a Dallas Mavericks game with her father, and all hell broke loose by one poor decision that this young lady made. So let's go. Teen trafficked from Dallas Mavericks game shares her story for the first time. A sex trafficking survivor who was taken from a Dallas Mavericks game at 15 years of age is speaking out for the first time since her abduction. In 2022, Natalie Kramer was at a Dallas Mavericks game with her father at the American Airlines Arena. Midway through the game, she got up from her seat to go to the bathroom. She wasn't seen for the next 11 days. She said, "I was feeling good, just ready to go out and hang out with my dad. We got there, sat in our seats. First quarter happened, and I started getting this anxious feeling," Kramer told WFAA television. Kramer admitted that she struggled with anxiety and often turned to marijuana and alcohol to cope. So she got up from her seat without her cell phone and told her dad she was going to use the bathroom. Instead, she began to walk around in an attempt to ease her anxiety. While walking around, Kramer asked a man outside if he smoked. "He told me we could walk back to his car that was in the parking lot in the garage. And that's when the second guy came," Kramer said. "We got to the car, and I was just kind of put in there and taken to their house." Kramer said that what happened wasn't like the abductions people see in the movies. It's not like a guy with candy in the back of his van. It looks like a normal conversation until it's not. You don't know you're in danger until you're in the middle of it, and you don't know what to do, and you can't get out. Kramer was held in North Texas for days and awed by multiple men. She was then transported to Oklahoma City, where a different group of people sex trafficked her at a hotel for more than a week. A private investigator was able to find Kramer's photos in an online sex advertisements and trace the location to Oklahoma City. She said, "I was just walking down the side of a road over and over again, just saying, 'Send somebody, send somebody,' and a cop drove by me. He pulled up next to me and said, 'Are you Natalie Kramer?' Kramer's family is suing the extended stay hotel in Oklahoma and the Texas companies that ran it, as previously reported by the Dallas Express. After the teen was rescued, Oklahoma authorities arrested 8 individuals, 2 of whom pleaded guilty to trafficking and child P charges. The hotel was allegedly known for pimps and prostitutes, according to guest reviews. On one occasion, a hotel employee saw the 15-year-old victim crying in the lobby while two adult men escorted her to their room, and yet they did nothing. The family's attorney, Zeke Fortenberry, claimed in a news release. Other times, men patrolled the hotel hallway, listen to this, with AK-47 style assault rifles in their hands. This is in the hotel lobby. The lawsuit contends that the hotel rented at least two different rooms to 44-year-old Kenneth Nelson, a registered Essex offender, who is now serving 25 years in prison on charges of Essex trafficking, and more in connection with this case. Kramer can be seen in surveillance footage being shuffled from room to room where she was allegedly forced to perform acts with Johns while under the influence of illicit substances, according to the complaint. In January, Kramer's parents spoke out after a Dallas County jury threw out the charges of SA assault of a child against 33-year-old Emmanuel Cartagena, the man accused of luring Kramer away from the basketball game. Did you hear that? According to the family's attorney, Cartagena's charges were dismissed because Dallas County prosecutors presented a half-assed case. Kramer says she ran away before she was trafficked, and once again from a treatment center after she was rescued. She said, "I was running for attention. I was running for drugs. For me, a lot of it was my mental health. I wasn't in therapy. I was struggling with self-harm. I was struggling with friends. I was struggling in school. I still didn't know the reason. I still don't know the reason why I did the things I did and why I didn't do the things I didn't do. Like why I didn't call, why I didn't just stop running." Kramer and her parents have started a nonprofit organization called Aisling, dedicated to helping families affected by human trafficking. The organization offers aftercare programs for survivors, mentoring and funding for therapy services, and has a team of professionals dedicated to bringing civil action to those affected by trafficking. She said, if they can't speak for them, I'm going to speak for them, Kramer said about the survivors at the Aisling organization, which is helping. Kramer now is 18 years old and picking up the pieces of her life that was interrupted by her traumatic ordeal. She now lives in her apartment and is working towards her GED. Man, what a story. And this is a true story that really happened. This human trafficking thing is getting out of control. And now when we have this migrant issue, there have been rumors and conspiracies that thousands of young kids are being trafficked. And you've got to think that probably has a major uptick with these non-English speaking individuals, and they are coming over here or speaking very little English and not knowing what to do or where to go. There are tons of children that are coming over here. And for this to happen to an American young lady that went to a basketball game with her father, and she made one wrong decision by engaging with a stranger, which we know about stranger danger, led to a 12-day ordeal that will change her life forever. I did not know that there are that many people that are out here preying on our young folks. And this is the reason I am doing this video. This chaos and disruption is getting completely out of control throughout our country. If you paid attention to this video, this has everything to do with mental health issues that are untreated. This has everything to do with human trafficking. This has everything to do with the inhumanity that many people are displaying to other humans in today's time. And if you look at the ages of these guys, you're talking about one gentleman in his 40s, another gentleman in his 30s. that preyed on this young lady when she was 15. That is a very, very sad scenario. And for our young people that are listening, one wrong decision can change your life forever. Even though she was 15, she made an adult decision and it had negative adult consequences. And what do you think her father went through by taking her to the game and then he can't find his daughter for 2 weeks? And how does he explain that to her mother and to the rest of her family? You're talking about premium PTSD for Natalie, the young lady, for her dad, her family, and the level of worrying that they went through for 2 weeks. It had to be the longest 2 weeks of their lives. Thankfully, the police did a great job by trying to navigate through technology, where technology saved this young lady's life because they had ads. They transferred her from Texas to Oklahoma, and then they started putting up ads trying to use her in an inappropriate way for others to abuse her. And thankfully, the police in Texas and Oklahoma did an outstanding job utilizing the technological advances that we have, or this young lady was getting ready to lead down a road that could have possibly ended her life. So we have to applaud the police. I know many times people are talking about defunding the police and all that, but this is, and I've done videos on police officers that have committed egregious behaviors against our citizens, but this is one case where we have to stand up and applaud the police for their due diligence and finding this young lady 12 days later after she was kidnapped or abducted by these men. And I know that was a very, very tough time for her parents. I'm a father of 2 daughters. Would never want that to happen. And I'm glad that this situation ended well. And now she can get all the therapy, mental health help that she needs. Her parents are going to need help. This is such a traumatic story. And I'm glad that she's adult enough to talk about it, to bring light to it, as I am doing. She is in the beginning stages of her life, and we want it to go in a positive and righteous and God-fearing direction. We live and learn from our mistakes, and hopefully this young lady can move forward in the future. But this happened. She got abducted at a Dallas Mavericks game that she attended with her father. Of course, the Dallas Mavericks have nothing to do with it. There's no accountability or responsibility on their part, but you're going to a game to enjoy watching a sporting event with your father, and then all hell breaks out. Tell me what you think of this sad case, and we must pray for her family, for her and her family, and hopefully those gentlemen that got caught and will be convicted and spend decades in prison. We need to get these predators off the street. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.